The government has made a rare move to step into Fairview Park's water pipe fixing, appointing experts to help homeowners plan their repair works. Sneak peek at this year's budget, which is set to be delivered on the 25th next month, unveils a capital account still in the red. Iran's anti-government protests swell, death toll mounts amid government crackdown and U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to step in. Good evening. You're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. The Water Supplies Department has stepped in to break the deadlock over the controversial repair of leaky pipes at Yunlong's Fairview Park, commissioning an independent expert panel to guide the work. The department announced that it has appointed 3 water engineering professionals and scholars to form the group. They are tasked to provide a scientific third-party analysis of the estate's persistent water loss and help plan an effective repair strategy. This follows intense resident criticism of a $500 million comprehensive pipe replacement scheme proposed by the estate's management company, which was abruptly suspended in early December amid homeowners' allegations of profiteering. The department noted that under the Waterworks Ordinance, the internal water supply system, including the pipes beneath private roads, is the responsibility of the users or the registered agent to maintain. It hopes the panel's objective analysis will lead to an effective and agreed-upon solution for the long-standing issue. Financial Secretary Paul Chen is slated to deliver his budget speech on February 25th. He revealed that while the city's capital account will remain in deficit this fiscal year, the government will leverage market tools to support infrastructure development. Beslan has more.
In his weekly blog post, the finance chief wrote that he has been meeting intensively with stakeholders from different sectors, community groups, and residents to hear the views and suggestions during the nearly month-long budget public consultation period. He highlighted that Hong Kong is undergoing economic restructuring and must focus on developing new growth engines while actively investing in the future, particularly by stepping up development of the northern metropolis to seize timely opportunities and strengthen future growth momentum. Noting that with higher spending on public works, Chen said the capital account will still record a deficit this year, but stressed the government will tap market forces, including issuing bonds where appropriate, to finance infrastructure, adding that the current level of outstanding government debts remains very healthy by international standards. While expecting the operating account to return to surplus earlier than previously forecast, Chen cautioned that overall expenditure is still rising, with about 60% going to education, healthcare, and welfare. He highlighted that resources must be allocated more precisely and used more efficiently to keep public services sustainable in the long run. Beslan Cable News.
Hong Kong's public health care fee reform has achieved its expected effect, Hospital Authority Chief Executive Libby Lee stated, noting a significant drop in non-urgent emergency room visits during its first week. She defended the strict means testing for fee waivers, stressing that public funds must be used prudently. Quentin Yang reports.
The reforms, which took effect on January 1st, have led to a 12% decrease in overall attendance at public hospital emergency departments compared to the same period last year. Notably, the number of non-urgent and semi-urgent patients fell by approximately 18%. Taken to the airwaves, HA Chief Libby Lee said the decline matched the authorities' expectations, with frontline staff reporting smooth operations. In the initial 10 days, fewer patients are coming to the emergency departments, but we need more time to see if the impact is sustained, she added. Meanwhile, Lee said the HA has approved more than 55,000 medical fee waiver applications since the reform began, which was also in line with projections, addressing public concern over stringent documentations. Lee explained that the HA must review applicants' income and assets to ensure responsible use of public money. The waiver is not welfare, but financial assistance for underprivileged patients, she said. Lee cited examples where applicants might hold assets in accounts like those with the Hong Kong Jockey Club, which she stressed must be declared and assessed. The official also clarified that procedures have been simplified and support teams deployed to assist applicants, adding that no cases have been reported of patients foregoing treatment due to the waiver process. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
A fire at Yuen Long's residential estate, Yoho Town, early this morning has left one person dead and another injured. Police believe the cause is not suspicious. Shortly after 6 a.m., a mid-level unit in Block 7 suddenly caught fire. Firefighters managed to extinguish the blaze in approximately 20 minutes using one hose and one breathing apparatus team. The fire originated in the living room. Responders rescued a couple from a bedroom. The man was pronounced dead after being rushed to the hospital, while the woman was injured. During the incident, 435 residents were evacuated. Preliminary information suggests an electrical short circuit within the unit was the cause. The case has been handed over to the Yuen Long Crime Unit Squad for follow-up. The Fire Services Department also immediately deployed its response team to inspect the building's fire service installations, which tested as fully operational. A coach carrying mainland tourists collided with a KMB double-decker on Long Chun Road this morning, injuring 8 people. After hitting the rear of the bus, the coach's front door initially failed to open. Responders removed the door to allow uninjured passengers and their luggage to disembark. They later continued their journey on a replacement coach. At around 11:30 a.m., the coach was traveling along Long Chun Road towards Kwun Tong when near Sha Tin Pass Road in Wong Tai Sin, it reportedly failed to brake in time and struck a stationary KMB bus that was preparing to pull into a stop. All 8 injured, 5 from the coach and 3 from the KMB bus, were conscious and received preliminary treatment before being sent to Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Iran is facing its gravest challenge in years as nationwide anti-government demonstrations enter their 3rd week with no sign of slowing. The death toll has climbed to more than 100, with some hospitals reporting higher figures as security forces unleash a lethal crackdown. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to attack Iran for its people, while Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei blamed the U.S. for inciting protests. Quentin Yang tells us more.
Chants of death to Khamenei and calls for the return of the exiled former crown prince have echoed in capital Tehran and even holy cities of Mashhad and Qom. A sea of protesters flooded cities to demand a regime change. The demonstrations now touch nearly 200 cities across Iran, according to a US-based right group, transforming what began as economic protests over currency collapse into a full-throated challenge to the religious rule. The government has also intensified response. Verified footage showed security forces firing live ammunition at crowds. A hospital worker in Tehran described horrible scenes of morgues filled with protesters, predominantly aged 20 to 25, suffering direct shots to the head and heart. Authorities have imposed a nationwide internet shutdown to conceal the crackdown scale, yet local reports indicate it has failed to quell protests. Over 2,600 people have been detained, including at least 200 alleged ringleaders of riots, who officials say will face terrorism charges and possible death sentences. The crisis has drawn sharp reactions from the U.S., as President Donald Trump repeatedly warned the regime of military intervention. According to the New York Times, Trump has been briefed on options for strikes targeting Iranian security units involved in suppressing protests, and is seriously considering authorization. Meanwhile, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has blamed the U.S. for inciting the unrest, labeling protesters vandals serving foreign interests. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
A packed tourist speedboat slammed into a fishing trawler off Thailand's holiday hotspot, Phi Phi Islands, leaving 1 dead and 13 others injured.
Videos show that the front of the speedboat was torn off due to the impact of the collision, while dozens of frantic survivors were desperately waiting for rescue from the sea. The smash happened around 9 a.m. A speedboat carrying 52 holidaymakers and 3 crew rammed into the fishing vessel in waters between Phuket and Krabi. Emergency services rushed to the scene and all rescued passengers were taken to Phi Phi Islands. An 18-year-old Russian woman died in the crash, while 13 others were injured, all taken to hospitals for treatment.
1 week after the ousting of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order declaring a national emergency to prohibit courts or creditors from seizing U.S.-held Venezuelan oil revenues.
According to a White House fact sheet, the order was signed because crucial U.S. efforts to ensure Venezuela's economic and political stability could be undermined. The executive order ensures these funds are preserved to advance U.S. foreign policy objectives, including stemming the flow of illegal immigration and combating drug trafficking. Under the order, any attachment or judicial process threat targeting Venezuelan petroleum revenues held by the U.S. government, which originate wholly or substantially from outside the U.S., is blocked from private creditor claims. On Friday, Trump met with executives from roughly 20 oil companies at the White House, urging them to invest $100 billion to boost oil production in Venezuela. The request did not receive a positive response, with most companies not publicly committing to rapid investment.
Vivid balloons and joyful crowds filled the West Kowloon Cultural District this afternoon as Hong Kong's first large-scale character balloon parade made a colorful debut. Quentin Yang shares more.
A storybook scene came to life along Victoria Harbour, where a procession of 16 giant helium balloons featuring beloved characters from around the world drifted above the promenade. Leading the Merry Balloon Parade was the 7-meter-tall smiling Lulu the Piggy, bobbing gently at the front, followed by a playful cast including cheerful M&M's characters, a wobbly SpongeBob SquarePants, and the pups of Paw Patrol. The event attracted thousands of families as the grand finale to the weeks-long Merry Balloon Hong Kong Festival. For many, it is a chance for shared joy. The atmosphere is great, shared one parent, describing scenes of families picnicking and cheering together. The massive inflatables, each measuring approximately 5 by 7 meters, floated along a 1.5-hour loop between the Hong Kong Palace Museum and M+. We want to use this large event to let local IPs reach more people, said Zhe Yuk, founder of organizer Make It Loud. He hopes the successful parade becomes an annual tradition, promoting the city's creative culture internationally. The organizer also noted overwhelming public enthusiasm, with some 10,000 free tickets being snapped up within just 10 minutes. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
On to the weather now. Fine and very dry, becoming cloudy tomorrow. Cool in the morning, sunny intervals during the day. Temperatures will range between 16 and 19 degrees. Moderate east to northeasterly winds. Fresh at first, occasionally strong offshore. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thanks for watching and good night.